Hi, it's Gordon and Aaron with another edition of the Unscripted Series. And really, I like Aaron quite a bit. I'm trying to decide whether, I should sit normally next to him with the sun blasting or I should move over like that, but then it looks like we can't stand each other, so I'm not sure what to do. Anyway, we had an owner ask if we would talk a little bit more about the Beansprout banjo. In fact, I think what they said is it's like the forgotten child. And certainly we don't intend it that way at all. But they're right, we haven't done many videos about it, so we're planning a few of them. And in this first one, I thought that we would talk about why someone would want a banjo ukulele and a Beansprout, what's different about the Beansprout.
Yeah, I think a lot of ukulele people who want to have a banjo uke, some people want it because they want the sound of a banjo as close as they can get to it. And the banjo uke is a quick way to get a little bit approximation of that banjo sound. Some people, I think, come at it from a volume perspective.
Yeah.
That they want to play ukulele in a large group of people maybe, or they want something to be heard with the other instruments like mandolin.
So it's the same as the resonator in that regard. I think a lot of people buy the resonator for the same two reasons. Yeah. They either want that old-time tone or they want a louder ukulele.
For sure. Yeah.
And the banjo, the cool thing about it is it delivers that banjo tone, but you play it. It's just like a ukulele. It's tuned GCEA, and so it's played in, or can be played in exactly the same way. Any of you that play ukulele would pick this up and be able to play it right away. I think it's kind of interesting, like you may know, but the Aaron designed the Beansprout banjo. How long ago was that?
2008, I guess. Right?
Is that all? Mm-hmm. Man, I thought it was longer than that. Anyway, so Aaron designed them and built them, and then when Aaron started working with us, it was just easier to make it all part of my moe. And so Shar and I, who we're really familiar with all the other instruments, but became familiar with this and had to kind of come up to speed with banjo ukes. And for me, a bad sounding uke is just something you don't want, and it's even worse if it's a banjo.
Yeah, bad sounding banjo uke is just terrible. It
just grates on your ears. It's tinny, and so for us, for Aaron designing this, and we've refined it, continue to refine it as with all our instruments. Getting the right tone out of it is a top priority
for sure.
And the key to that is a very expensive part of it, and that's this block rim. So this wooden part here is the rim.
The part that looks like, a drum shell.
And it's made up of several layers, and each layer has, 8 or 10?
It's I think it's 8 segments, yeah.
Blocks. And so it's those blocks that give this instrument its mass, and they give it its tone. And it's just a tone that you can't get really any other way.
When it comes to banjo rims, there's a couple different setups for how to do it, and they all make slightly different tones. And usually people will take a long strip of wood and then spiral it around and laminate it all together, and it ends up making a rim that's as much as 1/3 glue. And so glue doesn't sound as good as wood. With the block rim construction, by the time you're done with it, I've heard old timers say that there's a thimble full of glue in an entire block rim.
Yeah.
So it's really the wood doing the talking. But
in addition to that, we use solid brass hardware, which is very expensive, but it contributes to that tone as well. If you think about metal that's just cheap metal, it's tinny.
Like your average imported Chinese banjo uses like some sort of bizarre aluminum steel alloy. I don't even know what it is. And some of the cheap old banjo ukes use what people call pot metal. And so those kinds of metals are just sinks for vibration energy. Yeah. They don't transfer.
Not to mention they break quite easily.
And they break, yeah.
Pot metal especially, yeah. And this also, of course, has great playability features. It's a hand-shaped neck, as with our other ukuleles. It's a radiused fretboard. It's got the geared peg head tuners. So it's I love this instrument. This one is a really special one. Aaron built this for his dad. Mm-hmm. In fact, it's going out to him. We're recording this right before Christmas, about a month before, in 2013, and don't know when we'll air it. but it's going to your dad for Christmas. And tell us a little bit about the walnut that it's made from.
Yeah, my grandfather has a house in town and a house out in the country. And at the house in town, they cut down an old black walnut tree in the 60s, and they had it milled for lumber, and they stashed it away. And when I started doing woodworking, everybody in the family would say, "Oh yeah, you got to get some of that walnut," and it was just kind of this phantom thing, like nobody knew where it was, we couldn't find it. And then finally, at the old home place about 3 years ago, they finally pulled out some planks, and my dad saved it for me. And then, so yeah, the walnut in the rim and in the neck is from Grandpa's black walnut tree. It's not particularly exciting wood. It's not like Char's Body Shop wood or something, but it's kind of just normal black walnut. But you know, it's from Grandpa's tree, so
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to play it a little bit?
Sure.
That tone.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next week with another edition of Unscripted. Bye-bye.